And because what we talk about is often how our audience can sell stuff more effectively, get more sales and so on. I think this is probably a good point to interject that cautionary note. Explain what you mean by the sacredness of these shortcuts.
We live in what is unquestionably the most stimulus saturated, information overloaded environment that has ever existed on our planet. As a consequence, we need shortcuts, decisional shortcuts that allow us to make good choices without having to process and tabulate all of the possible pieces of information relevant to each of those choices that we have to make in our decision overloaded day. Right? So these shortcuts, giving back to people we owe, following the lead of multiple comparable others, following the lead of genuinely constituted authorities, and so on. Those things normally steer us correctly as to when to say yes. If they are counterfeited, if they're fabricated by some communicator who tricks the system by lying with statistics about the number of sales they already have, or fabricating a testimonial from somebody who is a purported expert and so on. That's the trickery we have to oppose at all costs. The person who uses those pieces of information honestly is hardly our adversary. That person is our ally in the process because they've informed us properly. They've educated us into assent rather than tricked or deceived us, or certainly not coerced us in that direction.
And yeah, you give a great example of the sort of ethical and perhaps less ethical use of these kinds of shortcuts with scarcity, where you recount buying a TV when the salesperson told you it was the last one in stock. And then you wondered, well, was that really the last one in stock? And went back the next day, and indeed, they didn't have a shelf full of them. So that in that case, the salesperson was helping you. If you really wanted that product, you didn't want to miss out, then that was a good nudge to buy it now. On the other hand, there is so much false scarcity we see on the internet. I think that some of it is outright false. I recall one website that every day announced that their deals were expiring at midnight. And you had to buy now. And then the next day went back and the exact same deals were there in the exact same format.
Yeah.
But then there's this sort of gray area where when you go visit, actually almost everybody in the travel business now, Bob, does this, where you visit a major airline, you visit a major travel website, and you see that there's only 2 seats left at this price, or there's only 1 hotel room left in this hotel on that day at that price. You say, wow, that's really scarce. But in some cases, or so I'm told by folks in the know, there are other rooms that are very slightly different. So they can truthfully say that there's only 1 left at that price, but if you go back later, there's going to be 1 priced 5 cents difference or something very minimal. And so I think we all have to be on our guard for that sort of thing. And I don't know if you have any opinions about, where does the gray area start? The sort of downright unethical begin?
That's a good example of one where it may be true in detail, but it's not true in spirit. There are many others that are available for $1 more, right? So it's a distinction without a difference. And when that is recognized, so for example, when someone blows the whistle on them, that trashes their reputation. Now I don't want to believe anything they say about their stock of rooms or the number of flights they have with this price available. Now I don't trust them at all, and that's really devastating to their future prospects as communicators.
Roger here. I hope you enjoyed this Brainfluence Brief. Please give it a like and be sure to subscribe to check my channel for full podcast videos and rogerdooley.com/podcast for audio, formatted text, plus links and other resources. Thanks for tuning in.